This episode of Nuff Said is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
Recording has started.
Hello, and welcome to Superconnectivity. I'm your host, Charlie, the Professor. With me, as always, is the blue-eyed bomber from the Burger Pit,
Phil, me, and Perich.
Hello, Philip. Welcome back to Superconnectivity. Oh, you know what? I realized there was something we forgot to talk about on Tapes and Lunatics this week, and it surprises me that we forgot.
I did think of, while we took our break, I did think of one story. I'm curious to see if it's the same thing you're thinking about.
I am thinking about the Wonder Woman 84 trailer.
Oh, no.
We haven't talked about that yet.
I know, but that's... I'm surprised.
We'll talk about your thing in a minute.
Okay.
But let's talk about Wonder Woman 1984.
Okay.
People like it. I don't think it's bad. I think it should have dropped before Black Widow. Now, maybe that's just because I'm a Marvel guy. And I'm grading Marvel on a curve and DC on a curve. But honestly, it was a bit Stranger Things for my taste. It was a little too totally 80s.
And
that's what I'm going.
And did they put out a new poster for that? Because I swear, someone did like a side-by-side. There was like a Black Widow poster and a Wonder Woman poster, and they both were like in the same exact pose with their arms like at the exact same angle or whatever. And
well, there's only so many ways you can pose in a poster.
Yeah.
But, you know, here's what I'm going to say. You know, DC is always chasing Marvel. I don't think that's a controversial statement.
Oh, movie-wise,
really
definitely.
And I kind of feel like they're like, oh, you know how we always say, I always say, you know, Joker was a really great film. I just hope DC takes the right lessons away from it and not the wrong lessons away from it. And I kind of feel like Wonder Woman 84 is the wrong lessons from Shazam. If you follow my grift on that.
Yeah, but I just don't know how much they're taking from any of the other movies, because I think Wonder Woman 84, I mean, I don't know when they started actually, you know, production on this, but I mean, it's basically been in the works since the first Wonder Woman.
And to call a shelter half an entrenching tool, the entire reason we have people asking for a Snyder cut is because basically they shoot a film and then, you know, sort of like Marge Simpson with her, what was that suit she had? Where she got remember when Marge got I want to say it was a Ralph Lauren, but I don't think it was a Ralph Lauren. She got the pink suit. And it was a very fancy pink suit that she got on the sale rack that fit her perfectly. But then she wore it everywhere, and then she had to, like, recut it.
Oh, yeah.
Suit, you know. And I get the feeling that's sort of how DC does their films now. Where they, like, make the film. So, well, how can we make this into a different film? Well, we let out the frogs and put it in, you know, put a hem in the puppies? I don't know.
I mean, well, Justice League was weird because Zack Snyder started it, but then, you know, he had a sick child, I believe, so he did leave, and then Whedon came in, and so it was just too many cooks in the kitchen.
I get the feeling that, like, they may have been making this film for a long time, but I think they said, okay, so what's popular now? And they said, well, Stranger Things is super popular. And so, well, this is set in the 80s. I mean, my honest opinion of this film is it was meant to be. I kind of got the feeling that I think Patty Jenkins wanted to make a Wonder Woman 77 kind of story, where she's taking Wonder Woman into the future with maybe Steve Trevor Jr. or something. Because not for nothing, Etta could have had a bun in the oven at that point. We don't know. Well, that's the original story. Is that like Steve Rogers Jr.?
Oh yeah.
Not Steve Rogers.
Steve Trevor
Jr. was like, well, Etta and Steve got together. It's like, really? Sure, why not? Looks exactly like Steve, not a bit like Etta. We're gonna go with it.
You know, if they ever do like another amalgam universe or something, that's where they're gonna stick Steve Rogers in that Steve Trevor slot. You know, they were lovers in World War II. He went into the ice. You know, she didn't age, and they're back together in the present.
Well, they already did. They already did the amalgam with Steve Rogers as the Super Soldier.
Super Soldier, yeah.
But maybe you get Super Soldier Junior. You know, and then you do like Kingdom Come Super Soldier, where he's got like the gray hair. It's like old man Steve Rogers.
Well, instead of Super Soldier Serum, they give him Kryptonian DNA, so who says he ages that quickly?
Maybe he ages even more quickly. I mean, it's Kryptonian DNA. What's that stuff supposed to do, Philip? Does everything all accelerated, you know? But, yeah, so it's an interesting mix of genres that they're doing with it. I think it's good. Actually, my favorite part about this is a scene where they're leaving the mall and like Diana says something to, I think it's Steve Trevor, but I actually think it's supposed to be the Ed Bailey Jr. character, which is how you know it's actually supposed to be Wonder Woman 77. Not the earlier World War II Wonder Woman, but the Wonder Womans that had Ed Bailey Jr. as a recurring character.
Yeah.
Is they make the point like everything here in a piece is a piece of art. And the guy says, wait, is this trash can a trash can or is it art? And you laugh, but that happened to me at the Heidelberg Project in Detroit. There is this it was like an entire, like a bunch of abandoned houses that this artist, very notable artist, I forget his name, but look up Heidelberg Project and you'll learn all about him. It's an amazing piece of art. And he basically took an entire block of abandoned houses and like painted them and set up all kinds of weird found art projects that he built into it. And myself and because this is when Detroit had a second city, and me and another guy in the second city were like there, and we're sitting there and we're walking around, we're looking at everything, and it's like really impressive. And then, you know, he had a drink and he was about to throw it away, and then he stopped because there's this old rusty trash can, like one of those wire 1970s trash can that's in the middle of the park. And we look at it and I was like, wait, is that a trash can or is that art? And the artist was there. And we asked him, is this a trash can or is this art? He's like, well, what do you think? He got very mad about the entire question. It's like, dude, it's a trash can in your art installation where people are coming to walk around. What are we supposed to think? That's why we asked. So, yeah, that scene alone resonated with me and make me want to see Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah. So
right there, that entire concept of everything is art, but there's also a physical representation of it and an actual application for it. In the trailer, they're going to a mall, and everything in the mall is art. You know, like I said, it seems like they're going, you like what we did with the thing and the nostalgia in the 80s?
You like it in 1984.
You like it. I liked the 1984. I was there. It was a wonderful time. You should have lived there.
I was 6. I was there.
You were 6. Yeah, you remembered. It was great.
Oh, I was just watching a movie from 1984 today.
Yeah.
Gremlins.
I actually read the book 1984. So I was all set for it. So it was great.
Yeah, no, we were watching Gremlins today.
Oh, that's a classic. Good old Gremlins.
I remember as a 6-year-old kid, I loved that scene in the bar with all the Gremlins. You know, they're all dressed up and they're playing cards. And I laughed that whole thing.
I never understood why that was supposed to be a strange scene. That just seems like every bar I've ever been in.
I know. It's just, I guess because it's little creatures and not actual people. You know, and Stripe pulls out the gun and shoots the guy cheating at cards.
Yeah, it's a delightful.
Yes.
Film. It really is. It is for as insanely violent of a Christmas film.
Oh yeah.
I think that actually, well, it probably doesn't have as high of a body count as Die Hard, but it's much more of a Christmas film.
Yeah.
Gremlins is 100% a Christmas film.
Oh yeah.
It even has like a redemptive arc and joyful ideas, you know, and also deals with the pain and difficulties of Christmas. Because Christmas is a hard time for a lot of people because, you know, it's a time where we're all supposed to be happy. And anytime you're supposed to be happy, it's always a little hard to be happy because life is not always perfectly happy, Phil.
The dad was on the road trying to sell his inventions at Christmas time.
And yeah, better than the other dad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the other dad, that's what I take away from that. The dad who's trying to sell his inventions, that just seems like a dad who's working hard for his family. You know?
Yeah.
And he made smokeless ashtrays and, he can scramble an egg. So he was basically Ron Popeil.
Yes.
Basically the Ron Popeil story. And, I appreciated that. Love Ron Popeil. So it's pretty great there. That's Wonder Woman 1984. I mean, I liked it. I liked Black Widow better.
Yeah.
I did not feel that there was a lot of pathos in the Wonder Woman 84 trailer. Which I felt there was a lot of pathos in Black Widow. And it's like the thing that I always get with like everyone's like, oh, Marvel, it's so light and Jerry. It's like, no, Marvel is foxhole humor.
Yeah.
Which is that there are people that know they're about to die. The threat is very real, and they make jokes about it.
Well, I mean, again, I mean, with the Marvel characters like Black Widow, I think we're more invested in them than what has DC really given us. I mean, Wonder Woman movie was probably the best one they've had so far, but it's just
I mean, it really was. I mean, it was better than Aquaman. I'll say that.
Yeah, by far.
Aquaman wasn't bad.
Aquaman wasn't bad. I just didn't like Aquaman. We just didn't like Aquaman, the character.
I mean, Shazam, I think was better.
Yeah, because it wasn't as dark. It wasn't so dark.
Yeah. Well, even and again, actually, Shazam almost gets it right because there actually is a lot of darkness. The 7 deadly sins.
Yeah, there is the darkness.
There's a boardroom of people being murdered.
But the main hero wasn't dark.
He had his dark moment.
Yeah, but it wasn't all. Batman and Superman. Kill.
Yeah, but I mean, and again, I don't think you should have to be a Boy Scout. Like Iron Man is.
Yeah, no, you don't have to be a Boy Scout, but it's just Superman shouldn't be Batman.
Well, no, Superman shouldn't be Batman.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Batman should be Batman.
Yeah,
and not Frank Miller's Batman. It's like, okay, yes, there was a book once that was very popular. Not every that is about the evolution of Batman to that extent on Crisis. That's the idea of that Batman.
Yeah, this
is Batman after a long
period. See, that's one of the big problems of Batman v Superman. It's like, yeah, the Frank Miller Batman was like Batman at the end of his career. That shouldn't be him when they first meet.
Exactly. We've said it 1,000 times.
I know.
They aren't listening. I guess that's my problem with DC is that it's like I don't feel like they're like Marvel. I think listens.
Yeah.
They take our criticism, and not for nothing. I will guarantee you there is some poor intern whose job it is to listen to our drunken ramblings. Well, my drunken ramblings, a little drunken rambling, and Philip's attempts to not have it be a drunken ramble. And write down, okay, so here's what Charlie said, here's what Lilith said, and here's what Phil said. And then, okay, well, that's good. Give those notes to Jon Favreau, and we'll see where we go with that.
Hey, anybody want to send us anonymous tips? Go ahead. You can be anonymous.
I don't need the anonymous tips. They're getting their ideas from us. How are they going to send us tips?
That's true.
Please.
But no, I was surprised you didn't talk about the whole Marvel TV thing.
Well, that was the other thing I was going to talk about after I said Jon Favreau. This has been a long time coming. Okay. I'm sorry. Let's understand power dynamics. Marvel TV essentially existed because Perlmutter kind of made it a thing. And kind of like Berlanti, Marvel was willing to tolerate it, especially if it was positive. And generally speaking, I think most of the stuff Marvel TV has done has been good. But we're kind of at a point where it's like, Disney's like, you know what? We're not having 2 different Marvel buttons on Disney Plus. And it's like, you know what? I can't remember who the guy in charge of Marvel TV was. But
was it Jeff Loeb?
Loeb, yeah. They said, you know what, Loeb? You had a good run. Have a good night. And now we're back to, okay, there's just Marvel Studios. Marvel Studios will produce television programs. And our favorites will be back. They're still advertising the Runaways. They're not walking away.
Well, they still have a season, right? I mean, the did season 3 start? I mean, it's going to be their last season, but I mean, still coming, just like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, exactly. But I don't think that they're going to walk away from those things. They're part of the universe.
Oh, no, they'll throw those characters in somewhere.
Well, exactly. And it's like, exactly. Now it's like, now Feige gets to say, now, okay, here's what I want to do with those guys. And everyone else is going to say, great idea, Mr. Feige.
Well, they can even show up in a movie.
Why did they put you in charge, sir?
Maybe our dream will finally happen and we'll get some Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in a movie somewhere.
I am certain we will, because we already got Noir and Mandalorian.
That's right.
The original Disney princess is back. And she is a part of the, she's Disney family.
Mm-hmm.
That's the point. Her, Phil Coulson, even Fitz and Simmons, they're all Disney family.
Mm-hmm.
I think even Sky's going to come back. Don't get me wrong. It's like their family. Peggy Carter's going to come back. They're all going to be a part of this.
Well, everybody,
because they're part of the family.
Everybody has to survive that last season, though. Charlie has her.
You really think they're going to kill Fitz or Simmons off?
No.
I mean, their freaking grandkid will die before either of them die. Fitz and Simmons are in the cartoons.
They can't kill Coulson. They keep trying and they can't do it.
Phil wants to die, but he can't. Let me die already.
No, we need you.
Well, honestly, he's Agent Phil Coulson. He is the super connective glue of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
He stood up to Loki.
And Loki's going to get his own series now, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, see, that's the thing. They can't kill these guys off, because even when they do, they're like, yeah, we're going to bring them back.
Alternate Loki, yeah.
Is an alternate really possible when you exist on multiple dimensional planes?
I know. I just didn't know if that was that because of that scene in Endgame. He grabs the cube and takes.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. I mean, they say Thanos will be back too. Because they made the point. Well, actually, that when they snap you out of existence, that doesn't kill you. It just places you outside of reality, meaning that you can come back at any time. Which is essentially why everyone was able to come back, because it wasn't someone who died, it was someone who was blinked out of reality. Which is why they couldn't bring Natasha back. But maybe she got out another way. That's the thing. It's like, don't say she's dead just because she died. I
mean, we got Infinity Stones, time travel's already been in play. I mean,
well, yeah, and not for nothing, she died to release the Soul Stone.
So what happens when you put it back?
Or just what happened to her when she died.
Yeah.
She could be in the Soul Stone too. We saw that Gamora was in the Soul Stone.
Mm-hmm.
So presumably, Black Widow's in the Soul Stone as well. And as we all saw in Infinity Warp, you can get out of those things.
Put a whole Earth in there.
I'm not saying that Mr. Miracle, the world's greatest escape artist, but I think Natasha's got some skills. She could bust out.
Or she could be thinking about her life while she's in there. That's the Black Widow movie.
Well, I mean, anything is a possibility. I'm waiting for that after credits scene. I'm waiting for that.
She's talking to Gamora in the Soul Stone.
And then this happens. Actually, you know what's the saddest part about the Black Widow film?
What?
No Stanley.
Oh, true. Although, didn't they say they shot some footage? Maybe could they have some footage? Maybe.
I don't think. Here's what I'm gonna say. Stanley will be there.
Yeah.
He's gonna be. It's gonna be like the Marvel TV where
It'll be like a poster or something.
Yeah, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, there was a great. I was reading today one of the Stan soapboxes, and it was just after the riot at Attica, and he mentions this, and he's like talking about like, man, maybe we have to understand that just because it's for the right reason of good doesn't mean that maybe bad things aren't being done in the name of good, and good things aren't being done in the name of bad. It's just like, it really was a guy trying to deal with the very complex political world at the time.
Oh yeah.
I miss Stanley. He's a better writer than people give him credit for. That's what I'm going to say. Maybe not with the words, but with the stories. He told stories, and those stories were the best stories. Fortunately, I think there are a lot of great writers inspired by him who are still telling great stories to this day.
He created Disney and Empire.
Honestly, I actually think Disney got as much out of Marvel as Marvel got out of Disney. You know, I think Marvel, like I said, Disney is the Smithers to Marvel's scatterbrained, Mr. Burns. It's the person keeping these. Let's get it organized. Let's put it on. Same with Lucasfilm. Like they bought these great properties from these guys who are kind of a mess. It's a bunch of. I got a bunch of stories over there, and other stories over there, and these stories kind of go together. I don't know. Like, okay, and Disney's like, let me just relax.
Galactic Senate's trade routes. No. Settle down. We'll take care of this.
Let's put this in order. Let's make a Mandalorian story. And isn't that the best? And I'm going to tell you, Rise of the Skywalker, if there is not a 3-foot being in Mandalorian armor saying, the way this is, I won't say it's a bad movie because it doesn't have it, but I want it to have it. Although, I'm still worried that Baby Yoda dies.
Yeah, but I was going to say, would they not have him just in Skywalker, just Rise of Skywalker, just because that way you oh yeah, I know he must survive the Mandalorian series. Do they want to keep it more vague?
Well, here's the thing. I think he might die at the end of Mandalorian, expressly because there were no Yoda toys. Because why would you put out toys when his death is going to drop at Christmas?
Yeah, true.
And they maybe didn't think maybe we're going to put Mandalorian. It's like this. It's like I am so afraid they're going to break my heart with Baby Yoda. I am so afraid of that, Philip.
Oh, hey, you know what? I told you the new episode dropped today. The next episode drops Wednesday, it says.
And that's the last one, right?
I don't think.
That was 8. Is that?
No, next week is 7.
Oh, okay.
But
there's one more.
But they're dropping it early 2 days before Rise of Skywalker comes out, though.
Okay, so maybe that's the good news. I mean, here's what I say. That's where they fit him with his little helmet. The way it is. You mark my words, man. I don't know, man. I'm hoping for the best with, that's what's got us all on edge with The Mandalorian is how could Disney walk away from $1 billion of toy sales? That doesn't sound like Disney.
They're coming. But
well,
yeah.
I mean, maybe that's the argument. It's like Disney's like, no, you'll buy the toys.
But yeah, no.
You will buy the toys.
It looks like it's 8 episodes. The next one is December 18th, and then it says episode 8 is December 27th. So
we can open our toys and.
So I think we said that before. There's like 9 days between episodes 7 and 8, but I don't know if that's because Rise of Skywalker's out too.
And Christmas and
unlock
these things. I mean, I was really hoping they would have dropped this last episode earlier so I could have watched it, but Phil, he's watched it. He knows what happened. But I don't want him to tell me because this is actually one show I kind of don't want to be spoiled for. It's weird. Anyway, let's talk comics before it gets too late for them.
Yes.
Old Man Quill. It finally loaded. Yeah, it came out last week, but this was fun. What do I like about this? Like, okay, first off, I don't buy Doom crushing the ultimate nullifier in last issue. That never makes sense. That'll never make sense.
If nothing else, wouldn't Doom want to keep that for himself? Why would he crush it?
If nothing else, isn't it made of adamantium or some nonsense? It's a freaking ultimate nullifier.
And my point is, like, when has Doom ever gone after, had big power and be like, nah, I don't want that.
Philip, as we learned this episode, that's not Doom. You
got
that in this episode, right?
Yeah.
That was
Doombot.
One more Doombot.
Yeah.
Nice. I mean, it's a fun story all around. We got our shard of the time stone, which I don't even know if those things work that way, but that's fine.
What, right through Galactus's head?
Well, no, just that you could have a shard of a time stone and have something. But honestly, the idea that, and again, just this idea that, I put the stone in the gun and that made it fire. It's like, there's so much wrong with this scene.
I know.
But it's a time stone. I don't know if anything's wrong with this scene.
It's powerful enough to, take out Galactus, but it's like, my gun will shoot it, yeah.
Well, but And again, I can't say that's not something the Time Stone would do.
Yeah.
I can't say that's not completely
And again, it's a shard of the Time Stone, so is it faulty too?
Who knows what it is? But
Yeah.
I love this explaining to at the end. It's like, how did you know that shooting the Time Stone would send a portion of his brain back in time, effectively lobotomizing Galactus? Oh, is that what it did? Okay.
He was like, yeah, it was green, it glowed. I just figured, why in the hell not?
I just figured that had to be bad for him. You know? And then this was the other. The end is beautiful in the sense that it's like, oh, these were actually yes, he's hallucinating, but they were also holograms. It's like, sure, and let me talk to the real Guardians. And we got old man Beta Ray Bill, old lady Nebula, still little kid Groot. Groot's back. I am Groot. He's the best one. And then a Nova who isn't Conan, and Moondragon. So that's fun. And then we get to Avengers Wasteland, coming soon.
Yep.
To a book near you. Yeah, so I liked Old Man Quill. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Magnificent Ms. Marvel.
Oh.
This was neat. You have Doctor Strange being a surgeon and dealing with the fact that he's like trying to find out. And again, are like Inhumans magic now? Then again, are all superpowers magic? Is Cyclops really a gateway to Crimson Dimension and Cypher? Apparently so, Philip. Apparently so.
Someone get Peter David on the phone.
I've called him a dumbass for one. This one. They have Kamala using her powers in very a plastic gal kind of form now.
Yeah.
Where she's stretching her neck out and she's making lassos, which is neat. Her powers are more advanced than that, but I thought it was a neat way to kind of reference things and how she's just dealing with it.
Mm-hmm.
The big plot line of this is, Dr. Zabo, Mr. Hyde realizes that, the electricity is damaging her, but then her new Kree super suit kind of kicks in and she beats up Mr. Hyde because the suit gave her power, but then the suit wants her to keep on beating the heck out of him. And she's like, no, I don't want to do that. And so her little nanobot Kree suit sort of separates herself. And it's called Storm Ranger.
Oh.
Yeah, she's got her own Venom story. So that, I enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. What else got here? Got Agents of Wakanda.
Ooh.
For those who don't remember, the Black Mercy story was being told. We get the idea that apparently there is a planet called Euphoria, where there's a planet that grants you wishes, or basically makes you just be happy. And then the gardener went there, and he totally got it on with the planet, which is kind of weird. Hey, planet, ever do a Elder of the Galaxy? Anyway, plotline. John Jameson becomes Star God again. Yada, yada, yada. He goes back to his other dimension, realizes that it has turned into a desert. Oh, no. But then Entra, or whatever her name is, she, regrows in that new dimension, and John Jameson stays behind to search for other things. Mockingbird joins the Agents of Wakanda, and apparently they damaged the moon so that now it has a smiley face. You're committing to a lot there, Marvel Comics. You're going to tell me I'm going to see that smiley face on the moon every time we see the moon from now on? No, because as of the no purge rules, when you don't see it, it's because the moon actually does rotate. Mm-hmm. And sometimes the smiley face is on the dark side of the moon. So there you go. Okay. Last book I got. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to do a book, though?
Oh, you didn't read Captain America?
Okay. Well, yes, I did read that. I'm just talking about the book I haven't seen.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes, Captain America. Oh, what happened to Captain America?
They find out Scourge is there's basically a war in the NYPD, the good cops versus the dirty cops, and
yeah. I mean, I get the premise. Here's the thing: Scourge and the Watchdogs were all funded by Red Skull.
Yeah.
as were the Resistance mutants, which I'm a little mad we're not getting anything from the mutant Resistance in this. You know,
I just wonder if anyone besides the X books are allowed to like use mutants right now. Yeah, I know.
I want my peeper, man.
They have.
I want my lifter and my peeper.
Here's my
the two members of the second branch of the Brotherhood of Mutants and the first members of the Mutant Resistance that, they were cool. Mm-hmm. I think they've all died a couple times already, so maybe that's why they're not there. But still, yeah, because I think like the one that could like see, I think they died several times, and they certainly died when John Walker fought them.
Mm-hmm.
They even had the guy who was like, "Oh, I can see everything in your head." Wait, your brain is not operating on any kind of logical function. You're just operating on instinct. I can't see what you're going to do. You're not thinking about what you're going to do. That makes it hard. So maybe they all died at the hands of John Walker, but I kind of feel like I've seen them after that, so I kind of think like at least some of them survived.
Yeah, I think
at
so.
least Peeper, I think, survived. He was the guy who had like the gigantic eyes. He had like laser blasts and X-ray vision, and he just lots of eye power too.
Oh yeah.
But so and why Cap doesn't think about that? It's like, well, let me think of it. The last time I faced Scourge, he was being funded by the Red Skull, as were the Watchdogs. Now, the Scourge is fighting the Watchdogs, sure, but at the same time, that's kind of the Skull's thing to basically pit two sides against each other. Because he doesn't know the Skull is back, but he knows Lucan is back, or at least Lucan's wife is back. This should be obvious.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just saying.
Do you think maybe Ta-Nehisi Coates is going to show us a couple issues down the line? It's like, oh, well, that's why Cap's like tracking down Scourge and the Watchdogs and then the other stuff. It's like, oh, it's all connected.
Well, no, I think Ta-Nehisi Coates is letting. I think he's letting Cap be dumb.
No.
And to be fair, you don't go broke letting Cap be dumb a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he's not known for being the guy who has all the angles. He's the guy who can solve any problem, but he's not Batman. He's not planning 6 stages ahead. Because first off, you can't plan 6 stages ahead because the world is too chaotic. You really could, you can try to be the mad thinker, but the mad thinker's plans always unravel.
Yeah.
So what's the point, But, yeah, so I don't know if Ta-Nehisi Coates is going to... I mean, I'm sure he will eventually reveal that, yes, Lucan is behind all of it, like they're behind everything. But, yeah, I mean, it was a good episode. I'm still waiting to find out more about Dryad.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Ta-Nehisi Coates is ignoring the fact that Captain America Peggy Carter, who is going to be on Disney Plus next year, is in the mainstream Marvel universe. So the idea that Peggy and Sharon reconnected and Peggy's all young again, it kind of makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to see where that story goes. And I kind of feel mad that we're like kind of getting all this Captain America nonsense.
Yeah.
But I want to see what's going on with Dryad. I want to see what that storyline is. And I still want someone to tell me what happened with Ian and Cap and Sharon Carter's Venom symbiote infected daughter from the alternate Hydraverse. So.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, so that's that. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed Captain America. It was a lot of fun. But again, like I said, it seemed like a filler issue. It seemed like not a lot. I mean, yeah, we got the reveal that, oh no, Scourge is killing corrupt cops and they're part of the Watchdogs, but the Watchdogs have this teleportation device and they're showing up everywhere and yada yada yada. They do a flash grenade and Cap has to fight through it. All very dramatic, but also not pushing the story forward, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm saying maybe it's going to be revealed Lucan's wife or whoever's behind everything, because it just seems like weird that Cap's not going at trying to like take her down 24/7.
Yeah, well, I kind of get the feeling he's kind of lost his footing.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's Ta-Nehisi Coates' storyline there, is that if your existence is based on being Captain America, when you can't be Captain America for whatever reason. And to that extent, it's kind of like when he became Nomad.
Yeah.
And, and suddenly he's like having to deal with, oh man, I didn't fight with a cape before. That's actually not a good idea. Why do I have a cape? I know Janet thought that would be a great look for me, but it's really not a good look for me, because it's a cape and it's troublesome.
And I trip over it, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like he's trying to find footing. He's like, oh, I'll go back to being super soldier. That was cool. I had the light shield, all that stuff, but it's like, it's still not right for you. It's still not, you're still not where you need to be because you're trying to force a new identity when you actually have to rediscover what your old identity meant. So I think that's where Ta-Nehisi's going with this. I want more of Peggy Carter.
Yes.
But we'll get that next issue, I'm sure. In fact, they actually said, next issue, Nick Fury, Peggy Carter, Cap, all hanging out. That'll be fun. They're going to get a soda at the malt shop. And then, did we talk about Immortal Hulk yet? Or I know we talked
off air, but yeah, we didn't talk on it.
So, yeah.
So that happened.
Not feeling Immortal Hulk. Well, it's like, I get what they're trying to do, but they're trying too hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, we'll commodify the Hulk, we'll sell the masks, and da-da-da-da. And they do the little, for those of you who remember plastic masks, I mean, in general, it's a neat idea, but the whole, it's a dull issue. It's a really dull issue. Not for nothing. Here's what I'm going to say. If you ever watched episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and they go into that whole thing about trade negotiations.
Yes.
That's way more interesting than what Dario Auger does as a freaking Minotaur in a suit with a scarf because he's a hipster. Remember when Sonic had the scarf? They called him Hipster Sonic.
Oh, yeah.
It was I want to say it was the last Sonic cartoon, but maybe they've done 2 others since then. But yeah, Sonic had a scarf because they had to show he was running fast. He needed a scarf, and it was a hipster affectation. And Dario Auger has hipster affectation. And I don't like how they drew his horns in this because they're actually kind of goat horns, not bull horns.
Mm-hmm.
He should have kind of, granted, Texas Longhorns weren't a thing back when the actual Minotaur was conceived of, but they also had horns different than ibises. So if you give them straight up horns that kind of curl, that doesn't look the same as an actual bull's horn. So.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. These are just my own personal.
But
I don't know if I feel that.
I know. I mean, I get what you're saying because it's like I thought we were going at a good pay. We had a good thing going. We had the multiple Hulks. We had Devil Hulk. We had Joe Fixit. I mean, we had all this stuff with the Hulks, and all of a sudden, after that issue 25, things seem to go off the rails.
You know why, Philip? I'm going to tell you exactly why. Because it's what if Superman was a jerk story. This is always the problem with the Hulk. Because if you have a character who's super, super powerful, in fact, you want to go out of your way to say, he's the most powerful one there is. And you say, and he wants to do something.
Do whatever he wants.
Well, it's like, it's sort of like, okay, well, either you have him do it, or you have him thwarted in doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, to get to the idea, I mean, you could argue that the point of it is that as much as Hulk wants to break the world, he can't because all his stuff is there. And it's like, it's like, I want to tear down the system. It's like, dude, you're not going to tear down the system by being a Hulk.
No.
I mean, the most you'll do is you'll kill some people and maybe bust up some property. But that's not actually going to change the system. Like literally that it's like, you can have a French Revolution, but then you might have a reign of terror where basically you just have fascists instead of the monarchy. It's like, is that better? No, not really.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's not enough to destroy, you have to want to kill.
Yes.
And in that sense, you could have an argument about the Hulk and his dueling personalities, Banner and the Hulk, but I just don't feel like we're getting that.
No, not
I don't
anymore.
feel like that's what, I don't see. Not only do I not feel like that's where the story's going, I just don't feel like that's what they're building towards. I think it's just kind of like, oh, I'm the Hulk, I smash. And I know there's more to it than what they want to tell, but they're not giving me enough to let me know. They're not giving me enough breadcrumbs to know this is the way to go. In fact, they almost seem to be saying, no, that's all we're doing. We're just Hulk smash. He's going to smash Roxxon, and then everything's right forever.
Well, that's what I was saying. Up to issue 24, it seemed like they were going somewhere. And now it just seems like, oh yeah, the Hulk's a movement. Yeah. For the kids.
Well, and you get the idea that basically Roxxon made the Hulk a movement.
Yeah.
That's sort of what the big reveal of this is like, oh, Roxxon like started trying to brand the Hulk as a movement.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I don't see what that accomplishes either for Roxxon or the Hulk. I don't see how that progresses the story. Now, maybe I'm going to be held up to be a fool. Maybe it's all going to be explained in the next issue or the next 5 issues. But you need me to buy those issues if you want me to know what your end game was. And that's the point.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's that. Yeah. Captain America was good, though. I just want to give a quick shout out to Elvira the Shape of Water.
Cool.
This was the last episode from Dynamite Comics. Elvira Mysteries of the Dark is still ongoing, but this was a limited series that told another adventure of Elvira, where she gets cast in a movie with a gill man, yada yada yada. Wackiness ensues, and I gotta say this: my favorite character in this is the character they drew, who's the evil Dr. Scientist. Who does that look like to you, Philip? That's not. Here, let me show you a better picture. That's a later picture. But when he first walks in, let me get to that picture. One second. There he is. Who's that guy, Philip? You know who that guy is?
Is that what's his face? Better Call Saul.
No, that's Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks. Okay.
Yeah, that's Mel Brooks. Hell myself. Yeah, I don't know. I just, the entire time I'm reading this, I read this with Mel Brooks' voice, and it was hilarious.
You mean he who did Baby Yoda first? Okay.
Yeah.
Merchandising.
Except Disney didn't do the merchandise. Anyway, and the big joke of this whole thing is their entire premise is they want to breed Elvira with the Gill Man. Ooh, he's the Gill Man. We're going to create a hybrid Gill Man human creature for reasons. But then you find out that actually Gill has a soft G. Her name is Jill. And she's a female. Wop, 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 wah! And then a lot of funny sex jokes ensue, which are delightful. They are delightful, regardless. And, good things happen. Jill and Bertram, who is another character who gets introduced this issue, swim off to fun in the Acapulco sun. And, yeah, I love the Elvira books currently being produced by Dynamite. Cassandra Peterson, enjoy your nickels, because you deserve every last one. And, yeah, I think that's all my stuff. We talked about Doom last issue. Unless you want to talk about Doom 2099.
Yeah, I was going to say Doom 2099, yeah.
Man, that's an M. Night Shyamalan twist. I don't know. I don't know if I buy that. It's like, oh, Doom was Reed Richards the whole time.
I know, because at first that when he when this Doom encounters, the guy in the floating fortress, I was like, is it going to be Kristoff? Like old man Kristoff?
Anybody. The original Doom 2099 is actually a guy
who had
his brain rewritten to be Doom.
Well, that's what I was saying, except for the Spider-Man. Everyone else in these 2099 books are like new characters, like the Punisher. And
I gotta be honest, I'm not feeling any of them. It's like the best one was Herbie trying to recreate the Fantastic Four, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I just
wonder after.
I don't explain why Reed has Doom's memory.
I didn't know if it was like some kind of accident with the time platform or.
I mean, who freaking knows?
Yeah, who knows?
I mean, honestly, for what it's worth, I mean, it's obviously another dimensional version of Doom.
Mm-hmm.
But I also, here's one thing, like, the one thing I hold dear is the idea that the Doom we have in Doom 2099, like the one we saw in 2099 Alpha,
Mm-hmm.
is the actual Doom 2099, the dude who got rewritten with Doom's memory.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who got Kristoff, essentially.
Yes.
You know, and that is an interesting story. What happens when Doom has a device that can rewrite people with his brain engram? Well, he doesn't even need to clone himself. He can just put himself in someone else's brain. And then they become Doom. They like get their brain rewired to be super genius Doom.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool when you think about it. If you think about it for a minute. But, you know, I'm just not getting any... Like I said, the best story so far has been Conan 2099.
I just wonder after the Amazing Spider-Man stuff if like the timeline's broken and by the time we get to the end it's gonna be fixed or maybe put, I don't know, they're like redone in a different way but better.
Well, it's always redone.
I know.
That's the thing. That's the concept of the multiverse, Philip. I don't know if you mentioned. If you saw that.
Well, no. I mean, they in the one issue of Amazing Spider-Man when Miguel was talking to Peter, I was cool with the idea of this being a possible future, but now they're like, no, this is the actual future, but it's always changing.
Well, yes, which means it's not the actual future. It means.
I know. I agree with you, but that's they were kind of like saying, yes, this is the actual 616 future, but it's always changing. It's like, what?
Yeah. Well, I mean, pardon my burp. Doing a whole Rick Sanchez thing here. I mean, yes, that is what would be happening to the 616 universe.
Yeah.
Oh, Gavolt.
I think they just.
Well, essentially, what they're okay. I figured it out. So what they're trying to establish is the idea that there is a Back to the Future temporal physics going on, which means that if you are from the future, your past is always changing. So you go back into the past, you are like Marty McFly going back into the past.
Yeah.
And things get changed. And you can blink yourself out of existence, or you can just alter what your world becomes when you go back. So they're trying to use Back to the Future principles so that everything that's happening now is affecting the 2099 universe, which is why the line between the 2099 universe and the old Maniverse are getting really, really murky.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, which is why I think that the Doom plan. So here's the idea: is that the 90s 2099 version, the 90s version of the 2099 universe, and the 20s or the teens version of the 2099 universe are two different universes. And what's going to be interesting is if that other 2099 universe comes over to the current 2099 universe and says, what the heck is going on in this universe? Because it's the universe that is in the future of the 616, which means it's in a constant state of flux until it gets together. And they'll probably deal with it at some point and explain how, you know, that there is this unformed future that is always changing, but from it spawn all the alternate universes that actually exist. So that you can have the Miguel O'Hara from the central 2099 universe go back and says, everything's changing, it's so crazy and crazy. But the other Miguel O'Hara, who's in this universe over here, he can go back and forth with no problem.
Yes.
Because he's from an alternate timeline.
I just think they want to change up 2099 every 10 years to, you know, whatever.
You only get so many to do it with, Philip.
I know.
That's the problem, is that when they came up with this future tech, it was in the far-flung future of 2099, which is now only 80 years in the future.
I know. Back in the 90s, it was like 100-some years in the future, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be 120-something, which, you know. But who knows? Maybe I'll live that long, Philip. Probably won't. But my kids might see it. My kids might see 2099. And they'll say, this is nothing like I was promised in the comics. And then they'll make jokes about the far-flung future of 2099. Here in the year 2100.
No, you know what happened? In the year 2099, Peter Parker's going to meet Miguel O'Hara, the Spider-Man of 3099 or something. You know, it's going to be something. They'll push it. They'll find a way to push it back.
If Disney still exists.
Well, they're going to be doing something next year with Iron Man 2020 because, hey, guess what?
Well, because there are the established, and that's the steampunkification of time.
Yeah.
So there is the 1602 universe that evolved from 1602 and wound up in a universe, you know, became its own bubble. And so there are these steampunkian universes that evolved alongside everything else, and then they haven't existed. Which is essentially what DC used to do with the Elseworlds. So,
yeah.
What are you going to do? Make Batman a pirate. It'll be fun.
Arg.
Arg. Full stream ahead, Philip. Okay. Anything else to talk about this week, Philip?
No, I think we're good.
I think we're very good. Only an hour longer than usual. Philip, if someone would like to buy Pod Life the book, how can they do that?
Well, they can go on Amazon, or they could email me, nightwingpdp@gmail.com, email capesandlunatics@gmail.com, the voicemail 614-382-2737, that's 614-38-capes, and all of our links are at linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. Yeah, but yeah, Pod Life the book, go check out tweakedaudio.com, Southgate Media Group, the link's in the show notes. Support the business. It'll give Master Doom some money to help put these.
To catch a killer?
What? Oh, Hunt a Killer, yes.
The Hunt a Killer. Do you have a code for that they should enter? No? Okay.
I should have. I think there might be, but check the show notes.
Check the show notes.
I'm getting old. I can't remember.
Someone's got to be in charge of this. It's certainly not me. I am not capable of handling things. I'm sorry, I'm not.
I got it. I just can't remember. It's late.
It is late, and we all want to go to bed. So, if you'd like to write to me in an old-fashioned email where there are miles and possible and send, and if you write to me, I'll actually find the answer for you, even if it takes me a little while. At superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. I'm in HR, so when you email me, I actually respond because that's just my nature. I want to find you an answer for any question you ask me. So ask me a question. I will find you an answer.
Nice.
Please do. But, make sure that it's the superconnectivity and all that kind of stuff. And say, hey, Charlie, here's the question for you. Because that way I'll know to read it and know what I'm doing. And of course, follow me on Twitter because I am live tweeting. Mark my words. Sunday's the last episode of The Watchmen. For now, at Charlie Esser, that's CHARLIE. Look for the two E's right there in the middle. For what?
For quality. Bing!
There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that has been another episode of Superconnectivity. Please connect with us again next week. Good night.
Good night.
And there we go. That was the whole episode.
Yes, it was.
Everyone in?
Those are the facts.
Music needs more therapy.